Good day, everyone. Today we are working in second grade Language Arts, Unit 16, Wonderful Water, Lesson 4, Wonderful Water, Write Portfolio. This portfolio is a writing assignment that you'll complete and turn in to your homeroom teacher for a grade. My name is Mrs. C, and I'm going to help you complete this portfolio from the start all the way to the finish. We're not going to begin in Unit 16. We are actually going to begin in Unit 13. Let's look at that unit now. We are on Lesson 1. Our objective, or what we want to do first, says, in this section, you will identify the parts of a research report. Our keywords are details, which is information that tells more about a fact, facts, true statements about a topic, introduction, the beginning of a text, research, to learn more about a topic, and research report, writing that tells the reader about a topic. What is a research report? Writers are curious. They often have questions about a topic like weather. So they research. They learn more about a topic. They look for answers to their questions in books and on websites. Then they share what they have learned. They write a research report. A research report is a kind of informational text. It tells about real people, places, or things. It shares true information about the topic. Parts of a research report. A research report has 3 parts. The beginning is also called the introduction. The introduction tells the reader the topic of the report. It also tells an important or main idea about the topic. The middle of the report shares the information. It shares facts and details about the topic. The facts and details help readers understand the main idea. The ending reminds readers what they have learned about the topic. So Faith is a second grader just like you. She wrote a research report about thunderstorms. We're going to read Faith's research report. She has a title, Thunderstorms, and then she has her name. She's the author, by Faith Carver. Here is what she wrote. Thunderstorms are powerful storms. Thunderstorms produce rain, wind, and lightning that can be dangerous. Lots of rain can fall during a thunderstorm. That can cause floods that can damage buildings in other areas. Strong winds can knock down trees and power lines. Lightning can cause problems too. It can flash from a cloud to the ground. That can cause fires or hurt people. When a thunderstorm comes, it is time to get inside where we will be safe. You are going to write your own research report just like Faith. Read the research report rubric. It will tell you more about what your report will include. So if you click right here, this is going to be linked in many of your lessons. You can look at the rubric now. I'm going to look at it with you at the end of this video together, just so we can double check when our research report is complete to make sure we have everything we need. Let's move on to Unit 13, Lesson 2. In this section, you will identify the topic sentence in the introduction of a research report. Our keywords are introduction, the beginning of a text, topic, what the text is about, and topic sentence, a sentence that tells the topic of a text. Topic sentences. Remember why a writer writes a research report. They want to share what they have learned about a topic. They want to share an important idea about the topic. Writers often identify their topic in the title of their report. Then they give more details about it. They start with a topic sentence. A topic sentence is part of the introduction. It helps readers understand what they will learn about the topic. A topic sentence has a few important jobs. It tells what the research report is about, and it tells the main idea about a topic. Read the introduction of Faith's research report, Thunderstorms. This part is her introduction. Thunderstorms are powerful storms. Thunderstorms produce rain, wind, and lightning that can be dangerous. What is the topic sentence of Faith's research report? The topic sentence is thunderstorms are powerful storms. She added this sentence to give even more detail about what she would be writing about. All right, we're moving on to Unit 13, Lesson 3. In this section, you will write questions that will help you learn more about the topic of your research report. Our keywords are facts, which are true statements about a topic, sources, which are texts with information about a topic, and topic, what a text is about. Choose a topic and ask questions about it. It is time you begin your own research report. Your topic will be about earth science. Earth science is a big topic. There is so much to learn about it. Careful writers narrow their topic. They write about a smaller part of a big topic. Ask questions about a topic. First, writers choose a topic. Then they decide what they would like to know about the topic. Faith thought about her topic. She thought about what she needed to know about thunderstorms. Then she wrote down questions she had. What happens during a thunderstorm? What problems can a thunderstorm cause? And how can people stay safe during a storm? Read to find answers. Writers research and find answers to their questions. They read sources. Sources can be books or articles. Sources can be websites too. Chung is writing a research report. His topic is clouds. He asked questions about clouds. What are clouds made of? Why don't clouds look the same? Why does a cloud make rain? Chung read a book called Back to the Sea. He also read an article on a website. He looked for facts that would answer his questions. Chung took notes in a concept web. He wrote his topic in the center. He wrote questions in the outside boxes. He wrote facts he found below the questions, and he wrote his sources in the bottom box. So if you go back to this unit, you can click here. I'm also going to have a blank concept web attached to the description of this video, so you can download and print your own if you need it, so you don't have to go back. All right, so let's look first at Chung's example. There's Faith's story about thunderstorms. Here is Chung's concept web about clouds. So he has questions in 1, 2, 3 of the boxes. He has his topic in the middle, clouds, and he has his sources in this bottom box. So for his questions, he does not know the answers yet. That's what you're going to do. You're going to write down some questions that you have about your topic, and then you're going to do the research to find out those answers. So here is my example. I printed out a blank concept web just like this one. I'm going to have this attached for you so you can print it out too if you need to. I decided my topic was going to be about volcanoes. So you need to know your topic before you start planning with your concept web. So I've got my topic right here in the center, volcanoes. And I've got mine filled out completely, but the first thing you're going to do right now is ask questions. So I wrote, are volcanoes very dangerous? What makes volcanoes erupt? Why is lava so hot? Those are my 3 questions. Then I had to figure out where I was going to find the information. So down here I have 2 sources. I have a book, National Geographic Kids Volcanoes. So I read this book for some of my research to get some information. And I have an article from a website. I have Time for Kids, What Are Volcanoes? That was the name of the article that I looked up. So I can show you that really quickly. What that article looked like, here it is. What are volcanoes? It's cut off a little bit, but this is the website that I also looked at for information. And to find that, I just typed in volcano information for kids, and I came up with all kinds of examples down here just on a web search. So that's what you're going to do too. And then when you find your answers to your questions, you'll add those to your concept web as well. So for my are volcanoes very dangerous question, my answer says, yes, they can even cause landslides, mudslides, earthquakes, and tsunamis. So not only does that a volcano erupt with lava, but it can cause other damage too. So they're very, very dangerous. All right, so that is your concept web. That's going to help you when you are planning out your research report. All right, so this is what you're going to do. Begin to plan your research report. First, choose your topic. That's the most important step. It should be about earth science. So these are some of the ideas you could use. Oceans, rocks, weather, space, the earth. All of these are pretty big topics. So if you wanted to pick oceans, you might narrow it down and pick something like coral reefs. Or if you do weather, you might narrow it down and you might do something like tornadoes. So go ahead and look at these big ideas and then find a topic that's a little smaller that won't have so much information for you to go through so you can write your research report. All right, once you've chosen the topic you like, then show your list to your learning coach and talk about your ideas. You might have more than one topic that you like. Decide which one you think would make the best topic for your report. All right, then think of what you'd like to learn about your topic. Then write down the 3 questions you have. You can write those right in your concept web. Make sure that the questions are about your topic. So if you're doing clouds like Chung was, make sure that your questions have to do with clouds, okay? Make sure that your questions relate to your topic. And then talk to your learning coach again and talk about what you can learn and how you can answer those questions. Yay! You have a topic. Now it is time to research. First, make a concept web. You will need the questions you wrote earlier. Use your concept web to take notes. So if I were you, I would not write your questions down somewhere else first. I would write your questions right in that concept web. Write your topic in the middle box, your questions in the outside boxes, and your sources that you're going to research in the bottom. Right here in this unit, you can click here. I also have the blank concept web for you in this video description. All right, read about your topic. Look for facts that help answer your questions. Take notes on what you read. Write the facts in your concept web. Remember to write where you found each fact. Write the name of the book or website and the page number or web address. Write more information about your sources in the bottom box. Here is what to write. So for the book or article, it asks you to do the title, author, and publisher. But if you can't fit all of that, that's okay. That concept web isn't that big. Just put the title because we are going to cite our sources later and then we'll use all of this information later on. So in your concept web, you can just put the title. Same thing for the website. You can just put the title of the article or the web page that you read. That will be okay. The website and the publisher, we'll get to that later when we cite our sources. All right, let's move right along. Unit 13, Lesson 4. Our objective? You will use a chart to plan the introduction of your research report. Remember, the introduction is the beginning of a text. Plan the introduction. Careful writers plan their research report. You are a careful writer. You chose your topic. You learned more about the topic. You wrote down what you learned. Now you can plan your introduction. Remember what an introduction does. It tells what the research report is about. It tells a main idea about the topic. Chung wrote a research report about clouds. He planned his introduction. First, Chung read the notes on his concept web. He thought about which facts helped him learn the most about clouds. Next, Chung wrote down 3 ideas. He used the facts he found most helpful. Finally, Chung chose an idea to write about. Chung wrote his introduction ideas in his planner. So this is Chung's planner with his examples. Let's go back. Yep, let's go back here. And we're going to go to his planner. All right, so here's his example. What I learned about clouds, that's what he chose for his topic. And here are some pieces of information that he learned from his research. Clouds are formed from drops of water. Some clouds make rain and others make snow. Clouds that are high in the sky look different from clouds that are low in the sky. The topic of my research report is clouds, and the idea I will write about is how clouds are formed. So here is a blank introduction planner for you. I have this downloaded and attached with a link so you can print it if you would like to. And here is my example. Remember, mine is going to be very different from Chung's because I'm not writing about clouds. I'm writing about volcanoes. So here's my example. What I learned about volcanoes, and here are some facts. Lava is hot because it comes from melted rocks below Earth's surface. Volcanoes erupt from pressure that builds up inside of them. Volcanoes erupt lava and also cause landslides, mudslides, earthquakes, and tsunamis. The topic of my research report is volcanoes, and the idea I will write about is what makes a volcanic explosion. So that is my introduction planner, and I'm going to use a lot of these details in my writing, not just in the introduction, but in my middle where I have those important pieces of information too. So it's really good to have to help you organize your writing. All right, let's go back to our lesson. Begin to plan your own introduction. Use an introduction planner. Fill in the top line. First, read your concept web and decide which facts help you learn the most about your topic. Cross out any facts that are not helpful. So if when you did your research, it kind of led you a different way and you learned some things that didn't have to do with your topic exactly, that's okay. Just cross those out and ignore those. Next, write the 3 ideas that tell what you learned. Write 1 or 2 complete sentences for each idea, and then write your ideas in the middle of the planner. So that's on those numbers 1, 2, and 3. Show the ideas on your introduction plan to your learning coach. Discuss each idea and talk about whether it would be a good main idea for your research report. Here are some questions you can ask yourself. Does this idea tell about my topic? Will I be able to explain this idea easily? Do I have facts and details that tell more about this idea? Is this idea interesting? Will readers want to learn about it? Finally, choose the idea that you will tell about in your report. Write your topic in the space at the bottom of the planner. Then write the idea you will tell readers about in your report. So all of that is going to be done on this introduction planner. Remember, I have it linked below in the description if you need it. Unit 13, Lesson 5. In this section, you will write the introduction paragraph of your research report. The introduction is the beginning of a text, and the topic sentence is a sentence that tells what a text is about. The introduction is the first paragraph of a research report. A topic sentence is an important part of an introduction. A topic sentence tells what the report is about. It tells the main idea that readers will learn. An introduction can also tell an interesting fact about the topic. Chung's introduction. Chung used his introduction planner to write his topic sentence. Remember, he was writing about clouds. We looked at that. Chung thought about his topic and he thought about the idea he wanted to tell readers. Then Chung wrote a topic sentence. All clouds are formed from drops of water. Chung's topic sentence shared an important idea about his topic, but he thought he could make the idea clearer. He wanted to make it sound more interesting, so he added a bit of details. Clouds do not all look the same, but they are alike in one way. All clouds are formed from drops of water. Now it is time for you to write a draft of your own introduction. Read the beginning row of your rubric. It will remind you what to put in your introduction. So remember, you can click on this rubric anywhere in any of those lessons and you can look at it and review it anytime. Read the information in your introduction plan. Then write a draft of your topic sentence. Tell the topic. Tell the idea that readers will learn about in your report. Then reread your topic sentence. Ask yourself, how can I make my idea clearer to readers? How can I make it more interesting? Add a sentence or two if you need to. Make sure your sentences tell about your topic. Make sure they are interesting. All right, so here's my example. I've already got my first draft written, but we're only going to look at this first part. This is my introduction. This is the part that we're on right now. So I'm writing about my topic. Volcanoes are dangerous landforms. A volcanic explosion erupts lava and hot gases. So I want to talk about volcanoes, how they form, and how dangerous they are. So I've got that introduction. I've got 2 sentences that tell my readers what my topic is. All right, so that's what we're focusing on right now, just our introduction. You can write this in your notebook because we're going to turn in our draft in a little bit. So it's good to go ahead and get that introduction portion done while we're here. Unit 14, we're in a new unit, Lesson 1. In this section, you will identify facts, details, and visuals in a research report. Our keywords are details, information that tells more about a fact. Facts, true statements about a topic. Sources, text with information about a topic. And visuals, images that show information. Facts, details, and visuals. You wrote the beginning of your research report. It tells the topic. It tells the main idea readers will learn. Now you can work on the middle of your report. You will give information about the topic. The information will help readers understand the main idea, facts and details. A writer can share facts and details about their topic. Facts and details are true information. They may come from sources. They may come from what the writer knows too. Faith wrote a research report about thunderstorms. Her report tells why they can be dangerous. Read the middle of Faith's research report. Think about the information she shares. So they've taken out the introduction and now we're just looking at the middle. Lots of rain can fall during a thunderstorm. That can cause floods that can damage buildings and other areas. Strong winds can knock down trees and power lines. Lightning can cause problems too. It can flash from a cloud to the ground. That can cause fires or hurt people. What fact does Faith tell about the rain? She says that a lot of it can fall during a thunderstorm, right? And it can cause floods. So these are all facts. This is all true information that she's sharing about her topic. Her topic is thunderstorms and how they can be dangerous. Visuals. A writer can share information about their topic in another way. They can use visuals. Visuals are pictures. So in your final published draft of your research report, you're going to want to have a real photograph. It's really easy to find these on the internet. I went to a search page. I typed in thunderstorm photo and I clicked on images. So right here you can see the images. These are the first ones that pop up, but there are hundreds and thousands of thunderstorm images that I could find. Then I just click with my mouse and I copy that image and I put it in my Word document. I'll show you guys how to do that later when I do mine for volcanoes. All right, Unit 14, Lesson 2. Our new objective says, in this section, you will decide how well the information you have gathered supports your topic. Our keywords are details, information that tells more about a fact, and facts, which are true statements about a topic. Support the topic. You have learned so much about your topic. You researched to find facts and details. You took notes about what you learned. Careful writers want to help readers understand their topic and main idea. Writers look at the facts and details they have found. They decide which facts best support their topic. Faith did research for her report on thunderstorms. She wanted to help readers understand why thunderstorms are dangerous. Here is one fact Faith found. A thunderstorm's powerful winds can cause damage. You used a concept web to take notes as you researched. Take out your concept web, reread your introduction too, review your topic and your main idea. So remember, here is our concept web. We have this with a lot of facts that we have learned, right, with our sources that we learned them from. Here's our introduction planner that we use to help us with facts and details we want to include in our introduction. And we should already have our introduction written as well for our first draft. So go ahead and review all of yours now. And then read each fact or detail that you wrote in your concept web and decide how well it will help readers understand your topic and main idea. Ask yourself questions about each fact. Does this fact connect to my topic? Does it tell more about the important data that I will share with readers? Is this fact easy to understand? Put a check next to the facts that support your topic and main idea, so the good ones, the ones that you definitely want to use. Cross out any facts that you do not want to use. Unit 14, Lesson 3. In this section, you will tell how writers end a research report. Our keyword is closing sentence, the last part of a research report. How writers end a research report. Writers begin a research report with a topic sentence. This sentence tells the topic and main idea. Writers end a research report with a closing sentence. A closing sentence reminds readers about a topic. It helps readers think about what they have learned. Reread Faith's research report and look for the closing sentence. So I'm only going to read the end where the closing sentence is. Right down here, it says, when a thunderstorm comes, it is time to get inside where it will be safe. That is how Faith ended her paper. Now it's your turn. We're in lesson 4. In this section, You will use a plan to write the middle of your research report. It is time to write the middle of your research report, but first make a plan. Look back at your notes, organize your facts and details. Decide where you will put each fact and detail in your report. Faith started planning by reading her topic sentence. Thunderstorms produce rain, wind, and lightning that can be dangerous. Next, Faith looked at her notes. She had facts about rain, she had facts about wind, she had facts about lightning. She could write about the facts in that order. Faith used her planning chart to write the middle of her report. Read the facts about rain that Faith wrote in her chart. So she has under rain, it rains a lot, it causes floods, and floods can cause damage. Faith wrote sentences about the facts. She thought about how to say the ideas and she used her own words. Lots of rain can fall. That can cause floods that damage things. Faith read her sentences. Then she added some more information. She made sure readers would understand her topic and main idea. Lots of rain can fall during a thunderstorm. That can cause floods that damage, instead of things, she wrote, buildings and other areas. So she made her writing more clear to her readers. It is time to plan the middle of your research report. You will need the concept web you made earlier. Reread the facts and details that you chose and make sure they support your topic, sentence, and main idea. Next, organize your facts and put them into groups. Decide where you will write each group of facts. Finally, write your facts in a chart like Faith's. So here is a flow chart that you can use if you would like to. It looks just like this. I will have this in the description so you can print it. Or if you already know the order of your details, then you can go ahead and you can write your middle of your paper. So here's my example. I had my details in my concept web already, so I didn't want to rewrite them again in that flow chart. I already had them here. But now I've added a little more information that I learned from my sources. Remember, I read a book and an article, and I made them into new paragraphs. Now, Faith's is one big paragraph, and that's perfectly fine. I like using paragraphs because it gets you ready for essay writing, so I just organized my facts that way. Here is my first piece of information. Lava is extremely hot because it is made of magma. Magma is melted rock from deep beneath Earth's surface. So here I've added a lot of information from my concept web. My question was, oh no, here it is. Why is lava so hot? Deep beneath the surface, it is very hot. So I added information and details about that question and that answer. Here's my next part. Volcanoes erupt when pressure builds up inside of them. Gas bubbles form in magma and need to escape. Boom! So I did the same thing. What makes volcanoes erupt? That was my question right here. Pressure builds up inside a volcano. So I took that information and I put it in complete sentences with extra information to get that second piece. All right, so this is the middle. These two paragraphs are the middle of my research paper. I've got my introduction with my topic, and now I've got my information in the middle. Let's keep moving on. You have already written the introduction to your report. Now write the middle. Begin a new paragraph. Write sentences about your facts. Use the planning chart you just made. Remember what Faith did to write the middle of her report. She wrote facts in the order she listed them on her planning chart. She used her own words to tell the facts, and she made sure her sentences would help readers understand her topic and her main idea. Unit 14, Lesson 5. Now we're going to write the closing sentence for your research report too. Remember, a closing sentence is the last part of a research report. You have written the beginning and the middle of your research paper. Now it is time to write the closing sentence. This is the last part of your report. Here is what it does. It reminds readers about the topic and it helps readers think about what they learned. Faith's closing sentence. Faith thought about her topic and main idea. She thought about the facts she shared in the middle of her report. Faith asked herself questions. What will readers learn? How can readers use the information they learn? Faith thought of a few ideas. She wrote them in her notebook, then she wrote her closing sentence. When a thunderstorm comes, it is time to get inside where it will be safe. Careful writers reread their research report. They make sure all the parts are there. They make sure their writing is clear and they ask questions as they read their work. Does the introduction tell the topic and main idea? Does the middle have sentences with facts and details? Are the facts and details about the topic? Do they help readers understand the important idea? Does the closing sentence say the topic again? Does it help readers think about what they have learned? Here's what you're going to do now. Write the closing sentence of your research report. First, check the third row of your rubric. It will remind you what a good closing sentence has. Remember, we're going to review that together at the end. Read your introduction and topic sentence. Read the sentences in the middle. Ask yourself questions. What do readers learn? And how can I help readers use this information? Then write your closing sentence. Type or write it at the end of the middle paragraph. Show your sentences to your learning coach and talk about what you did. Carefully read your research report. Look for parts you can make better. Ask yourself these questions. Does the introduction tell the topic and main idea? Does the middle have sentences with facts and details? Are the facts and details about the topic and do they help readers understand the important idea? And does the closing sentence say the topic again? And does it help readers think about what they have learned? Take notes in your notebook and write down information you want to add. Then show your ideas to your learning coach and talk about the changes you want to make. Finally, make your changes and check your rubric again. You have written a draft of your research report. Well done. So here is my example for my conclusion, for my ending. Mudslides, landslides, earthquakes, and tsunamis can happen after an eruption too. Volcanoes can be catastrophic. So up here, my introduction said volcanoes are dangerous landforms. I could have said volcanoes are very dangerous again, but I wanted to look up a synonym or a different word for dangerous. So catastrophic means it causes a lot of damage and it's very awful. So I used that word instead, but I'm still restating, I'm still saying what my topic was in my closing sentence. So volcanoes can be catastrophic. That is my ending. So some of your teachers might have told you you don't have to turn in your first draft. If that's the case, then you can just keep moving forward because you will turn in your first draft for your portfolio. If not, if your teacher does want you to submit it, you're going to submit your first draft right here. We're still in Unit 14, so this is where that first draft you have would be turned in. You're also going to turn it in again when we get to your final portfolio submission. All right, we're moving on all the way to Unit 16, Lesson 1. In this section, you will list the sources you used to find information for your research report. Your keyword is sources, text with information about a topic. Tell where you found facts. Careful writers put information about their sources in their research report. They tell readers where they found the facts and details they used. They list this information on the last page of their report. Some sources, like books, magazines, and newspapers, are printed. Others, like websites, are found online. Writers share certain details about each kind of source. So if you have a book, this is the information that you want to include. Remember, if something is missing, that's okay. Include as much information as you can. If you're doing an article in a magazine or newspaper, here's the information that you would include in your source. And if you're doing an online source, then you would include these details. Remember, if something's missing, that's okay. This is a learning experience. So try to include as much information as you can and don't worry about the rest. Faith's learning coach helped her add a source page to the end of her report. The page listed information about her sources. Faith listed the sources in alphabetical order. Read the information on Faith's source page. So her two sources were Severe Weather 101 Thunderstorms, and this came from a website. You can see she has the website's name, she has the date that it was written, and she has the web address. Down here, she also read an article or a magazine article She has Stormy Weather was the title. It was from the magazine Time for Kids, and it was published in April 2019. So you can see she doesn't have the author's name and things here. That's okay. If you can't find that information, include everything that you do have. Find your notes with information about the sources you used. Remember, you should have at least the titles on your concept web. Use the information to make a source page for your report. Here is what to do. Write sources at the top of your page. I highly suggest typing this part because it will be turned in with your published draft, and it's a lot easier to copy those web addresses and copy and paste them into your Word document instead of writing them. So I don't suggest writing, I suggest typing this part. Include important details about each source. Write the details correctly or type them and ask your learning coach to help you. This is definitely a part where your learning coach should be helping you for sure. Don't be afraid to help a lot, learning coaches. And list your sources in alphabetical order. Some details may be missing from a source. For example, a magazine article may not tell the author's name. That's okay. Include whatever information you can find. Faith's source page is linked here. I'll have it linked in the description as well so you can review it, and you can review your rubric. It will have some information about your source page as well. When you are finished, show your source page to your learning coach. Talk about the information that you have included. So here is my source page. And you can see I've got it in alphabetical order. This one starts with the author's last name. It starts with S. This one is an article title. It starts with W. So this is the book that I read. I've got the author's name. I've got the title of the book. I've got where it was published, who the publisher was, and when it was published. Down here, I've got my article title. This was an article from a website from Time for Kids, and it was published August 14th, 2018, and I linked the article here. So I copied and pasted this right from the website. I can show you the website I was on again. It is right here. I copied and pasted it. That way I did not have to worry about writing that down. So I think it's a much better idea to go ahead and just type your source page right away and not worry about writing any of that down. That way it'll save you a lot of time and be a lot easier. All right, let's go to Unit 16, Lesson 2. In this section, you will edit your research report. Edit means to reread what you write and fix mistakes. Careful writers edit their writing. They read what they wrote carefully. They fix any mistakes they find. Mistakes make it hard for readers to understand their writing. You can use a checklist to edit your research report. It has questions you can ask as you read your draft. Do sentences start with a capital letter? Do they end with an end mark? So ending punctuation, a period, an exclamation point, a question mark. Can you join some sentences to make the writing less choppy? So maybe instead of having two facts, in two sentences, can you use the word and or and combine those? Are titles and other proper nouns capitalized? You're going to have a lot of true information. You might have a lot of proper nouns in the way of names of places or people. All those need to have uppercase letters. Have you used formal language? That just means, does it sound like information you would read in a book? Not like you're talking to your reader like you might in a story, but does it sound like true facts and details? And are all the words spelled correctly? So if you click right here, you have an editing checklist. I also have this linked for you as well. So let's go to see what this looks like. Here's your editing checklist. You don't have to print this out, but you can look at this and go back to make sure that you've got everything you need before you submit your published draft. All right, read the sentences from a research report. Look for mistakes. Think about how the writer fixed the mistake. So here's what the writer had first. The river flows into Lake Green. That doesn't sound correct, but that's because Lake Green is the name of a lake. The river flows into Lake Green. I've got uppercase L, uppercase G. Now I know that that's the name of a place, and so it makes a lot more sense. That's how the writer changed their writing. They capitalized this proper noun, this name of a certain place. Read your research report carefully. Ask the questions on your editing checklist. Look for other mistakes too. So in your published draft, you're going to type it. You're going to type it all out. Once you get your published draft that you've copied from your first draft that you wrote down, you're going to want to do the best job possible. So use your written draft. Use this and do all of the editing that you need to do before you type. Then after you type your published draft, check it too and just make sure you didn't type too quickly or accidentally hit the wrong key and make any mistakes there. Do your sentences start with a capital letter? Do they end with an ending punctuation mark? Can you join the sentences to make your writing less choppy? Are the titles and other proper nouns capitalized? Have you used formal language? And are all words spelled correctly? Mark each mistake you find, then think about how you can fix the mistake. Think about how you can make the sentences better. So I'm going to show you my final draft. Here's my source page. It's my second page. I'm going to go up to my first one. This is my published draft. I have my title. It does have an uppercase letter. Oh, I don't need an uppercase letter here. It is written by Mrs. C. I am the author, and I do have some mistakes that I'm going to fix with you now with my editing. Volcanoes are dangerous landforms. A volcanic explosion erupts lava and hot gases. Volcanic is not spelled correctly. I do not need that K. See how the red squiggly line disappeared when I got it right? Let me go ahead and make this black because it's fixed now. Lava is extremely hot because it is made of magma. Magma is melted rock from deep beneath Earth's surface. So beneath, right now this word is beneath. I need that A to help letter E say its name. Earth is also the name of our planet. That means I need to give it an uppercase E. It is a proper noun. Volcanoes erupt when pressure builds up inside of them. Gas bubbles form in magma and need to escape. Boom! I've got my exclamation point and I've got periods at the end of my sentences too. Mudslides, landslides, uh-oh, my comma went in the wrong part. I need that after my S. Earthquakes and tsunamis can happen after an eruption too. Volcanoes can be catastrophic. So to get my sources on the second page, what I did right here is I hit the buttons Control Enter together and it made a whole new page for me. That's how I got my sources on the second page and I have my writing on my first page. All right, I'm also going to teach you how to put an image in here later, but we haven't quite gotten to that part yet. Unit 16, Lesson 3. In this section, you will publish your research report. Keywords are publish, which means to make a final copy and share with others, and visuals, which are images that show information. Your research report is almost finished. The last step is to publish your report. When you publish, you make a final copy of your text. It shows all the changes you have made and it is ready for others to read. Make sure you add a title. A title tells readers what a research report will be about. Often the title tells the topic of the report. So a lot of times in these informational research reports, your title might just be the name of your topic. My title is just volcanoes. But I could have written something like volcanoes are dangerous or volcanoes are scary or watch out volcanoes. You can get creative with your title if you want to, or you can keep it simple. It's completely up to you. Writers also include visuals in a research report. Visuals are pictures. They can tell readers more about a topic and main idea. They can make your research report more interesting too. Faith wants to add a visual to her report. She wants to show how thunderstorms can be dangerous. What is one visual that Faith can add to her report? Remember, I did that search for thunderstorms and we saw those cool pictures. She could copy one of those and add it to her report. All right, so let's go ahead and go to our word processing program. And you can see I've got an image of a volcano here. So what I did is I went to the internet again and I typed in volcano pictures. Then I went right over to images and I scrolled down until I found one I liked a whole lot. Here it is. You can see there are tons and tons of pictures to find. So when I found this one, I clicked on it. I copied the image. You're going to right click, not left click. So I copied the image. I went to my Word document. I put it right where I want it. So I hit enter right here to make a new section. I moved it to the middle and then I clicked paste and I pasted that picture right in here. Right now, it's not lit up because I don't actually have it copied. But earlier I copied it and then I clicked paste and it put that picture right into my published draft. So that's how you're going to do that, and definitely get help from your learning coach. You're absolutely allowed to get help from your learning coach for this. All right. So remember, your final copy. Your research report should be easy to read. Many writers use a computer to type the final copy of your report, and that's what your homeroom teacher wants you to do. Follow these steps to type your report. Open a word processing program and ask your learning coach for help if you need it. Type the title of your report at the top of the page and type your name too. Then type the words of your report. Indent the first line of each paragraph and put space between the paragraphs. So if you look at my report, this is the indentation, this space right here. I hit the tab button to do that. Right down here, you can see there's a little space between each of my paragraphs just so it's easy for my reader to read it. All right. Start a new page once you've written your entire research report and then type the word sources at the top. Then type the information about your sources. Ask your learning coach to help you put everything in the right place. So remember, down here when I got to the end of my report, I hit Control Enter, both of those buttons together. That made me a new page. I titled the page Sources, and then I did the same thing. I listed my sources, and I made sure there was a space between, and I made sure they were in alphabetical order. When you are done, read your text carefully. Make sure you have made all your changes you planned and check that you didn't make new mistakes. Add your visual. Your learning coach can help you. Check your spelling using a spell check feature and save the file. So for this one, your picture doesn't have to be right here in between. It could be at the very top. It could be at the very bottom. You can put your picture where you think it will fit best. I put it after my introduction, just in case anyone didn't know what a volcano was. Now they definitely know. And I talk about lava underneath, and you can see that lava exploding out. So I thought that was a really good place for my visual. All right, you've already chosen a title. You've already chosen your visual. Now you've made your final copy. Reread your report and think about how that visual shares information about your topic. Don't choose a picture that doesn't relate to your topic. Don't choose a picture of clouds if you're writing about volcanoes. Work with your learning coach. You can use the internet browser to search for a visual that does fit in, or you can even draw a picture too. So if you want to print out what you've typed, draw a picture on it, and then take a picture and turn it into your teacher, that is fine. Just make sure that your visual helps your readers understand your topic and your main idea. Decide, no, on this one you don't get to decide whether you'll type or handwrite it. You should have a handwritten first draft, and you should definitely have a type published final draft. So read your draft again, make sure it shows all the changes you want to make, type the title of your text at the top of the page and your name too, type your introduction, then type the middle of your report, then your closing sentence, and the sources on the next page. Check your work, make sure everything is correct, ask your learning coach for help adding your visual. Finally, check your research report rubric again and make sure you have included everything a research report needs. So let's go ahead and look at that rubric. We've talked about it a lot. Now we're going to look at it together. We always want to try to get as many points as possible. So we want to look at these 3-point sections and do everything that they include. So for your introduction, you want to have a topic sentence that clearly tells the topic and main idea readers will learn, and an interesting fact. In the middle, you want to make sure your facts and details from research are closely related to your topic. The fact sentences help readers understand the main idea and learn more, and that the order of the facts and details makes sense. So you don't want to write, let's say Faith's example, you don't want to write about the rain in the very beginning, then talk about lightning, then talk about floods, then talk about something else, and then talk about rain at the bottom again, right? You want to make sure that those ideas are close to one another and that they go in order. All right, for your closing sentence, make sure the closing sentence clearly restates the topic and helps readers think about what they learned. Remember, you can even write something very similar. My topic is volcanoes are dangerous landforms. My closing sentence says volcanoes can be catastrophic. That's restating the idea, and it's very similar. It's just a little bit different. All right, make sure for publishing and presenting that you have a page with detailed information about sources, that your visuals support your main idea, that your research report is typed well with no errors, and that you present your ideas clearly and in an interesting way. For conventions and vocabulary, this is really the editing that we did together. So remember, you want to make sure your sentences are complete, that they have an uppercase letter at the beginning and ending punctuation at the end, that if you use commas, apostrophes, or contractions, you do those correctly, that your subject-verb agreement goes together. So that just really means that your sentences make sense. You don't have past tense and present tense in the same sentence. Make sure that you're using vocabulary, including adjectives to describe different things, adverbs to describe how things are done, and make sure that you spell words based correctly on what you've already learned about spelling patterns, like that word beneath. I already knew that I needed two vowels. I needed a vowel helper, but I accidentally wrote beneath. So make sure that you practice those spelling patterns, and if it's a sight word, make sure you have it spelled correctly too, because you know those really well by second grade. All right, if you do all of that, I'm sure you're going to get really close or maybe get all 15 out of 15 points, and that will be an amazing grade. Here is our last lesson, Unit 16, Lesson 4. In this section, you will present your research report. Present means to tell about a topic or text as people listen, and publish means to make a final copy and share it with others. When they have finished their research report, writers publish it. First, they make a final copy. Then they share it with others. They give readers a chance to learn about their topic too. How will you share your research report? Here are some ideas. Think of someone who would like to learn about your topic. Give them your report to read. Find a friend who studies earth science. Have them read your report. Ask a grown-up to share your report on their social media page. Email your report to someone you know. Ask them what questions they have about your topic. You're going to present your research report to your learning coach. Make sure you have a copy of your text. Then practice. It will help you feel more relaxed. Here's what to do to get ready. Practice reading your text aloud. Learn how to pronounce all the words and try not to read too fast. Decide when you should show your visual and have it ready to share. Think of how you will involve your audience. Ask what they think about your ideas. Be prepared to answer questions about your report. Keep your answers focused on your topic. And remember to look at your audience when you present. Take a deep breath and try to relax. So you're going to do this with your learning coach. You're not going to turn anything in for this, but this is really good practice for you. Finally, read over your research report one more time, make sure all the pieces are there, and make any final changes. If you want to, review your rubric one more time, and once you are sure your research report is complete, submit it to your Dropbox. Congratulations! You have written a research report. So right here, this is page 20 of Unit 16, Lesson 4. This is where you're going to upload your first draft, right? You have your planning page. Sometimes you might use your planning page as your first draft. That's okay if you do. You're also going to make sure that you have your published final draft as well. So this one, if there are mistakes, if I want to take something out or add something, I don't need to change that. Your first draft is fine as it is, but for your final published draft, you want to make sure, oh, that is the rubric, you want to make sure that you have everything you need. The title, your name as the author, your introduction with your topic, your visual, your details and facts, and your closing sentence or your conclusion. You also need a second page that has your sources. So you need to turn in your first draft and you need to turn in your final typed copy to your teacher now. All right, guys, I had so much fun helping you with your research portfolio today. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, goodbye.